So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period, end of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
Daniels now bringing his guys to the line, getting everyone set for this two-point attempt.
Washington will line up for the two-point conversion.
Tiger, 19 Tiger. Ready?
All right, they're going to throw for it. It's caught. Ooh, and he can't shake the defense. They track him down in the backfield, and this two-point attempt fails.
Commanders 27, Broncos 15. Jake Moody to kick off.
Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. Harvey now to return it. And this drive will start inside the 25.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
All right, going empty as they come to the line. It's first and 10. Shotgun snap to Nix. Trying for the deep ball. And they took their shots, but unsuccessful on that first down throw. Swatted away by the defense.
The ability to track the ball, right? Ball skills isn't just knocking it away, and that's a beautiful job there, Kate. But ball skills is also being able to track a ball on a deeper throw like that. If he doesn't swat it away, we're looking at a huge gain.
Again on second and 10, Nix. He's trying to go deep again. It's complete. Oh, my. They left him wide open downfield. And the stop is made as he drives this to the opposing 43. How about a big hit of 34 yards there and a new set of downs? Offense to the line fast. Throwing on first down, Nix. Cut at the 10-yard line. And they take him out of bounds, which means his offense setting up for first and goal.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
Offense in position now. It's first and goal. They'll throw again. Nix. And he's got it. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos now within one score in the fourth. It's a Troy Franklin touchdown. Extra point try now from Lutz. Right down the middle. It's good. And the Broncos trim the deficit down to 5.
Commanders 27, Broncos 22. Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
So after making this a 5-point ball game, they kick it off. Moore with a return. They're going to bring him down as he gets it to the 33.
The Commanders take over first and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Commanders to the line now, Brock. Here comes first and 10.
Tag. Viking 18. Ready.
Give it to Krosky Merritt. And he gets up for a gain of about 4.
Krosky Merritt, the ball carrier. He's brought down at the 37-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
That brings us to the 2-minute warning here in Denver. Commanders with a 5-point lead.
Ready, set.
2nd and 6 coming up here.
Here we go, here we go. Panther 60, Panther 60.
Daniels now. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line.
When there's heat, that blitz coming off the snap, that QB's eyes, you could see it right away. He got to his check down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The two were right there, and it netted some positive yards.
On the set.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3.
Ready. 70 Timberwolves.
Giving this to Krosky Merritt. They're holding strong here. The defense gets him at the line. That's going to bring up 4th down. Hurry up offense now as time runs down.
A gain of only a yard. It's 4th down.
70 Timberwolves.
Setting up to pass. And they'll turn it over on downs as that pass comes up empty and off the field they go.
Even the best receivers, they've got occasional breaks in concentration. You just never want to see it happen. One of the most important snaps of the game. If we know anything about this guy, though, it's he'll be up for the challenge the next time the ball comes his way.
They'll give up the middle to Harvey. And he manages 6 yards to begin this one. We've got 2nd and 4.
That run may not have gotten you a first, but sure, nice little run to set the table.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Last run got him 7. Here comes 2nd and 3. Harvey once more. Oh, man, nothing for him again, Brock. It has been a struggle all game as this one's quickly mopped up, too.
A loss of a yard on the play. It's now 3rd down and 4.
2 to 12. Olay, olay, olay. Olay, olay, olay.
Here he is to throw. That's caught for the first. And there's the stop after he drives this down to the 13.
It's a gain of 20.
We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game.
10 at the 13-yard line.
In quite the time crunch here, Brock, but still 2 timeouts to burn. It's 1st down.
Oh, my son. Ready.
Giving this to Harvey. Now he continues to find no traction on the ground here, Brock, as they bring him down for no gain.
He was taken down.
Denver calls the second of its 3 timeouts. And they're still going to have 1 left at their disposal. That's a nice quick correction for this front, Brock. Give up the big play and then get a little back on the very next one.
Exactly the kind of response you want to see from your defense. You got to forget about the big play for now and stay focused on that next snap.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down.
Oh, my son. Ready. Ready, my son.
Here he is to throw. And he's in, and that's a touchdown. And with almost no time left, he just likely won them this game. Absolutely clutch score there, Brock, as they take the lead here in the final minutes.
Incredible execution. The moment not too big for any of them. And, Kate, they cashed in when it really mattered.
Now the offense and Knicks coming to the line, looking to tack on 2 more.
The Broncos will line up for the two-point conversion.
Back to throw. And he brings it in. That makes this a field goal game now.
That makes the score Broncos 30.
Quarterback's best friend,
27.
big targets in the red zone. Not many guys can match up and defend someone like him, and no surprise, they went right to him for the conversion.
Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Samuel now to return it. And he takes the return out of bounds.
Samuel on the return. Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Starting out trips right here. 1st and 10.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Mustang 19. Ready.
He'll look to throw it. Called in by Lane. And he's forced out of bounds after picking up about 7.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short.
Here we go. Strap. Strap Viking 18. Buffalo 18.
Play clock down to 0, and the flags come out. Everyone was set and at the line. The quarterback just didn't snap it before the play clock hit 0. Ball's backed up. Now they've got 2nd and 7.
Red. 65. 19 Tiger. 19 Tiger. 7 Pirates. 7 Pirates.
Out of the gun, Daniels. It's intercepted. That will do it. Picked off Alex Singleton. And the Broncos make one final massive play, and that finishes the win. So it's a win for the Broncos. And it's going to be remembered quite a bit for the defensive effort right there at the end to steal away the last bits of hope from the opposing sideline with that interception, Brock, and officially end this game.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Denver Broncos.
Jake Moody to kick off.
And off we go from Denver. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone. For a touchback. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
On the play. 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And nothing doing. Immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. That's taken in by Franklin. And this effort won't do it. He needed to get to the 45. He's a yard or 2 short. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. That is caught. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Two yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 9.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now the Central Florida product, it's R.J. Harvey. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Commanders' 28-yard line.
Again, it's Harvey. And once again, he'll get possibly back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Tough spot here. 3rd down and 11.
Brings up 3rd down and 11.
To throw is Nix. He completes this to Sutton. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Cortland Sutton, 29 yards. And the Broncos are on the board first here this afternoon.
Will Lutz lining up.
Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Will take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
Here we go. Set. Bronco 80. 60 Bison. 60 Bison. Go.
Now it's JCM, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
On the tackle. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 23-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. And Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Ready, break. Ready. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Ready.
Daniels with a give to Krosky-Merritt. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
Pickup on the play. And it's 3rd.
They'll try and run for it. Krosky-Merritt. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. 70 Rangers, 70 Rangers. Let go.
Daniels going to throw for it. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. A give up the middle to Dobbins. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Once more with Harvey. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. R.J. Harvey, an 18-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos go up by 2 touchdowns. Lutz with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Broncos 14. Commanders nothing. Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Got it. Ready?
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Here we go. Here
And
we
they're in
go.
a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Out of the gun, they go with Krosky Merritt. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Here's third down and 4.
No gain on the play. And it's third down.
Panther 11, Panther 11.
To throw is Daniels. And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
Andy, do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Second and 9.
A gain of a yard. Brings up second and 9 at the 34-yard line.
They'll go again with Dobbins. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's third and 6. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll go for it. Here's Nix. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Broncos unable to convert here on fourth. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Bronco 80. Cup 19. Cup 19. 70 Ranger. 70 Ranger.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
70 line, big lion. Mustang 19.
A final shot before break. Daniels. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And incomplete on the deep ball. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
A 2-touchdown game, 14-0 the score as we get rolling again here in this second half. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will step out of bounds all the way down inside the 40. Big yardage that time for Washington. 41 yards.
Washington first down. A 41-yard gain. And the Washington first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 36.
70 Timberwolves. Ready, ready?
On 1st down, it's Krosky Merritt. And he'll get what he can up the middle. 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Buffalo 18.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
79 Broncos. Go.
Daniels looking to throw. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From the 21, here's the 2nd down and 6.
Here we go. Panther 60, Panther 60. Steady.
To the air goes Daniels. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 63 yards receiving for him now. And that last catch good enough for a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay. Of course, that flag accepted, and it backs the ball up 5 yards. The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal.
60 Eagles, 18 Rattle, 18 Rattle.
Now Daniels. A throw left side, hauled in by Lane. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
And they ran just a little underneath route here on first and goal, but there's really not a whole lot of room to operate this close to the goal line. He's just not able to get loose after the catch.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? Throwing now is Daniels. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Commanders are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
The Commanders will line up for the two-point conversion.
70. Dragon 60. Ready.
Daniels going to try and throw for it. And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. He hits the big target for the two-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Jake Moody to kick off.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. Nick's going to give to Hardy. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try to move forward.
And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Up the middle, it's Harvey. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Off the play fake, Nix. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. The Broncos send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going. It's Nix. That is intercepted. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Result of the play is a
Oh my, how the tables have turned now. They were trying to salt this one away, but that interception, potentially a game changer.
And I just got to think to myself, at this point of the game, I know you've been aggressive. I know that's your MO, and that's fine. And all those teams that talk about all gas, no brakes, you better have the emergency lever to pull occasionally. They could have used it right there. They put themselves in a tough spot with that interception.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Let go.
A run inside, Krosky Merritt. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Now 2nd and 4.
Tag. Not 70, Timberwolves.
He'll look to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And the Broncos have just about sewn up this football game.
intercepted. The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
sets up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
On 4th down, Nix. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on fourth. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Hey. Panther 60, Panther 60.
This to McLaurin out on the left side. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Now 2nd down and a few inches. They'll look to throw. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Well, this crowd trying to force a false start here. 3rd and inches. Back to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos have just about sewn up this football game.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
It's a gain of 14 yards. That's good for Broncos. 1st down.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll air this one out from Mims. That is intercepted. There he goes left side. He's to the 15. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown.
We constantly talk about defenders having great vision and being able to see plays unfold and make their own plays, but you also have to have good feel as well, because you can't see everything out there. See the play unfold, feel what's going on, and then get to the right spot and make your own play. And in this case, it turned out to be a highlight one.
The kick is good, and can you believe this? They win it with zeros on the clock. Well, this was a game we'll have in the memory banks for a while. The winning touchdown at the end, and then they had to get that extra point. You know, the knees were shaking, but he put it through, and boom, a dramatic victory.
And just remember, prior to 2015, that extra point almost felt routine, didn't it? Like it was a fait accompli. But when we moved it back to the 15, now the drama kicked in. So, yes, a touchdown, extremely important. Obviously, they had to have it. That was huge. But that was not a gimme, and he knocked it through the posts.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.